Yes, guys, welcome back. I hope everyone's doing well. What is it, Wednesday evening? I don't even know what bloody day it is. Guys, we've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold later on in the show. Lots to discuss about Trent. We're going to talk about Jota as well. And we're going to open up discussions about Alisson Becker as well. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. And join me as always. I've got 𝐿𝐴𝐿. 𝐿𝐴𝐿, how you doing, man?
Evening, everyone. I'm good. Hope you're all well.
Oh, what a lively day in the old football as well in the Champions League. United on the verge of going out of the Champions League, drawing 3-3. Bayern Munich and Copenhagen drawing 0-0 with Copenhagen won tonight. I believe Man United will be out. Arsenal destroying Lens 6-0. Yeah, Lens are terrible anyway. I think they're like 18th in the French league or something. Yeah, Benfica Inter Milan 3-3. You know, European football's dead. Absolutely dead. European football's finished. It pees me off that we're playing on Thursdays. Other news. I thought I'd just bring you this, guys. So Jude Bellingham has played 16 games for Real Madrid. He's just made his 18th goal and assist this season. Apparently, he's just beaten Ronaldo's record or something like that for the opening 16 games for a Real Madrid player. He's breaking records, man. Arguably the best player in the world right now. But big up to everyone in chat. I hope everyone's doing well. Guys, as I said, we're going to talk about Trent later on in the show. We've got a lot to discuss about Trent. I've got some things I've got to get off my chest because, yeah, I've got to get them off my chest. And I think 𝐿𝐴𝐿, as usual, has got the stats and all that. But, yeah, first of all, we're going to talk about Alisson Becker. As we know, our goalkeeper, Alisson Becker, got injured in the game against Manchester City, pulling a hammy. Now, everyone's been guessing how long Alisson will be out for since Sunday. It's taken till Thursday for some reason for Liverpool to give this news, where I see a lot of teams get a player injured one day and they get news the next. I don't know why it takes so long. I don't know what sort of NHS waiting list Liverpool have got, but these players seem to... It takes a while.
Long queues.
Yeah. it takes a while. So Klopp said today, Klopp is very... Klopp don't like giving injury news, does he? I've noticed this.
No.
He doesn't like talking about injury news.
And transfer news.
No. Because he can't give a date. He can't give a date. You know, he literally can't give a date. And apparently he said it's not long. It's less than Jota's. Also didn't give really a date about Jota's. Just said New Year. New Year could be anything. So they're expecting him back before the Man United game, which is 2 weeks. Now, as far as we know, he's got a hamstring strain and not a pull, I believe, 𝐿𝐴𝐿. Is that what we've heard?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a strain.
So 2 weeks, do you see that's a fair enough turnaround, or do you think he'll miss the Man United game?
2 weeks. It's not a grade. It's not actually a grade tear. So it's 2 weeks. Luckily. Could have been a lot worse if we carried on passing the ball to him. He couldn't kick it.
And this is another question I've got for everyone, 𝐿𝐴𝐿 as well. Do we think Alisson might have been carrying something before the game with his weird performance?
He kicked. Do you know how many times he cleared the ball? 36 times in that game.
Too many. We go back
too many times. Like he was literally. it was like watching the Rugby World Cup and they bring on the kicker because he just kept on booting it. He kept on booting it and he kept on doing those outside of the foot like chip shots, which are like really, really difficult. Put a lot of strain on your leg. But I don't know, maybe he came back on like Ryanair and he didn't have any leg room on the plane. But he literally came back 2 days before and he played 2 really high pressure matches where he had a lot of like, if you watch some of those games, if you watch the Colombia game, the amount of times he had to go up in the air for the ball, I mean, that's got to take his toll, like in those 2 games. And then he comes back and he hasn't got any rest.
And then games are brutal as well. They're brutal games as well.
They were both brutal games
as well. Yeah, they are brutal games. I've seen a lot of people talk about, Ali shouldn't have played against City. Klopp should have rested some players. And I'm like, I don't get that take.
We'd have lost.
This is Man City.
We'd have lost.
I understand. If Liverpool were playing Fulham at home, you could have an argument that maybe Ali had 2 really hard games in South America. He's shattered. It's 12:30 kickoff. Maybe we'll play Kelleher in this game because it's a Fulham game at home. It might be a bit, you can get away with it a little bit. There is no way Klopp could rest Alisson Becker against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. That's just madness for people to say these things for me, and it's just unfortunate. I think we talk about a lot that players get the best. They get the best flights. They get the best meals. They get massages on the plane. They get looked after. At the end of the day, what it shows is they're human beings. And McAllister said this in the game after. He couldn't stay awake. Playing them games in South America, then flying back, then training, getting back to the jet lag and, getting back into the rhythm of being in UK time again now and stuff like that. I don't care how well you looked after, how well you're fed, how comfy the plane is. You're still a human being at the end of the day, and that's going to take its toll, ain't it?
I'd say most people, when you go on holiday, if it's a week or 2 weeks away, even if it's not that far, it takes you a bit of time to get back into the rhythm of like going back to work and sleeping in your own bed and getting up in the morning. Yeah. Can you imagine what a footballer's like?
It's shattering.
Must be.
I've got my family. I go on holiday with my family. Yeah, you come home and you need a holiday.
You need a holiday.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You need a holiday. Get over it. And footballers.
He's coming back to play football.
Yeah, and they go. And the thing is, they go back to training straight away. They've got to sign into work. They get flown home. Liverpool put on private charters for them, so they get flown home quite quickly. But the thing is, when you put in the time difference and all that, and you come back in that little bit of jet lag, they're then up and training Thursday, Friday with a game at 12:30 Saturday, which means they're probably up around 6 o'clock Saturday morning, eating pasta at 8 a.m.
And it's away as well.
Like 2 days before, you just been in South America. Yeah, and 2 days before
it's away.
No.
They might have come back and gone into training in a different place because it's away. And the thing about that as well is all of that crap that you've seen about Man City players, they had to go all over the world. They didn't. Trust me, they didn't. The only player that got hammered was 𝐿𝐴kanji, who had to play 3 games, by the way.
Yeah.
He had to play 3 international games. All the others didn't travel anywhere as near as much as our players. What Man City did was what Alex Ferguson used to do. Just before a massive game, all his players would suddenly be injured. And they'd all be out of the internationals, so they'd be fresh for our game. You should do it all the time. And that's what he did.
Yeah, it's... And if you look back at the game...
We're too honest.
Yeah, we are. Our South American players were shattered. McAllister said he found it hard staying awake. That tells you everything right there. By the way, I thought McAllister had a good game. Had a good game against City as well.
He did.
Diaz was tired. Núñez was tired. They looked shattered, man. Allison was definitely shattered. You could just see it, man. Like, they come back to training on Friday in Liverpool. They're in Kirby training. 2 days before that, they're in South America. It's just madness.
Playing really important games, by the way. Yeah, they all played really important
matches. Argentina, for goodness sake. You can't get any bigger than that.
I know.
It's just, it's mad to me. It's just madness. I don't get how this is. The players, I think, I don't understand why there's 3 international breaks between the opening day of the season and November. I really don't get it.
Tell me about it.
Why are we making these players play so much? And then next season, the Champions League's bigger. It's mental.
I know. The thing about it as well is, Klopp talked about this 2 years ago.
No one listened.
Klopp talked about this 2 years ago, and everyone said he was whinging. Everyone said, he's just complaining. He talked about massive fixture pile-ups. He talked about international breaks. He talked about bad refereeing. He talked about substitutions. He talked about all of these things, and every single one of them it's all coming to fruition now, and we're all sat there going, well, why isn't anything getting done about that? Well, he was talking about that 2 years ago. He was so ahead of the curve.
Oh man, it's just
he's our manager.
Yeah,
and he's right.
Yeah, everyone says he moans all the time. So he moaned about fixture pile up. He's right. The fixture pile up for footballers now is ridiculous. There's no break time. More players are now getting injured than ever. And then you got the VAR side of it when he moans about that, and everyone told us to calm down and stay in our lane. And Liverpool tried to get everyone on board, all the Premier League clubs, to come together and stand up to the authorities, but no one wanted to listen. And now they're all getting screwed over and they're all moaning and crying. You know, stop calling my manager a moaner all the time when he's actually saying facts. Look, I hate it when he talks about like the pitch was dry and the wind was howling and that sort of nonsense. That's like, Jurgen,
that's a bit too far.
Don't, leave that. But you're right about, he's right about the fixture pile up on these players.
Absolutely.
He's right about the VAR officials. I don't. It's just madness.
All he's trying to do is look after his players and look after player welfare. And how can anyone say anything's wrong about that? Player welfare is so important. Otherwise, these players will have to retire a lot younger, and we won't see the likes of, your Messis and Ronaldos play until to those ages. And the interesting thing as well, have you actually seen the interview that Gary O'Neill did on Sky?
No,
when his team got screwed over for 3 penalties.
Oh yeah, he went mental, didn't he?
That's all you need to know about what Klopp was talking about VAR.
These people don't care.
Wolves got absolutely robbed.
as long as these people as long as these Premier Leagues, UEFAs and FIFAs, they get the next big sponsorship money come through the door, they don't care. No. As soon as sponsorship money starts dying down and people look into it and go, hang on, there's too much money here, then they'll talk about it. But till then, it's just a madness. Guys, I'm going to go and talk about Alisson 1 second. But I've just looked at Twitter really quickly. Look, Arsenal fans, Arsenal beat Lens 6-0 today. Massive result in the Champions League. Although Europe is completely dead, I expect Arsenal Man City Champions League final. I'm not even joking. That's what I expect, because Europe is dead. And what I'm seeing on Twitter right now, a picture of Saka and Martinelli with the comment on top of this picture, Salah and Mane were never this good.
Oh, my God. Have a laugh.
Didn't
Arsenal get beat by Lens about 2 years ago, by the way? I need to look at that.
They got beaten by Lens earlier in the competition.
I'm pretty sure Arsenal's
they lost 1-0 earlier in the competition. Yeah, they lost 1-0 earlier, didn't they? Yeah, they lost 1-0 earlier in the season.
Arsenal can shut up.
There's literally a picture on Twitter Arsenal fans put up and so a picture of Saka and a picture of Martinelli, and above it says Salah and Mane were never this good. It's just someone's commented it. Salah and Mane were better at Southampton and Roma. Oh, it's just
Salah and Mane were better at Salzburg, because they both played there as well.
It's these
Salzburg, they were better there.
And I like Arsenal as a team. It's the fan base that does me head in. As I said, the way Europe is, apart from Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, I don't see anyone else stopping Man City and Arsenal winning the Champions League. I really don't. Europe is awful now. Right, Alisson Becker out for the 2 weeks, as we just said, with that injury. So that gives Kelleher a chance. Kelleher is in the team now. He's got a 2-week trial period, shall we say. There's been some worries, K-Mac, about Kelleher this season when he has come in the European games, especially League Cup game. He's at an age now, ain't he? I think he's at an age that we bought Allison at, if I remember rightly, 26, something like that.
I think
Kelleher's got
I think he's 24.
24. So it's a couple of years away from where we bought Allison at. And if you look at the levels, there's definitely an issue there. What do we think of Kelleher? I think he's a good goalkeeper. My thing on Kelleher is that a couple of seasons ago when he was playing all the domestic cup games and he knew he was playing them and he was getting to the finals, he was out on Liverpool win cups, in penalty shootouts and that, his confidence was up. He knew he was playing the cup games when they came along. He knew that was his season. And you look at it now, he really rarely gets a sniffing goal, does he? Like if Liverpool were in the Champions League, he ain't playing Champions League games. He's only playing really League Cup games. You know, last season, even Alisson played a couple of FA Cup games. Do you think the form of Kelleher at this moment is just that he's in the mindset of it don't matter how well I play, I'm not going to play next week?
Yes and no. Like most of his games are the Premier League 2 games, aren't they? Which is like, is it the under-21s?
Yeah.
It's really, really poor football. It's a really poor standard of football. Like he's not even the Ireland #1 now. Bazooma's got it.
#1's in the Championship. And in the Championship.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If your Ireland if your international goalkeeper is in the division below you, then you need to really have a look at yourself and think, I need to get myself away from this club and get some games. Like, I think he's played less than 80 games in his career, which is really, really low, like at any club level. At a guy who's like near 25, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, this season, I feel like he's been like Mignolet. Like, every shot has gone in past him. He's barely made any saves. Like, his distribution's off as well this season. I don't know. Like,
and that's his strong point.
I know, and that's his strong point. I just think that I also feel like maybe when he played in those cup games, he had a set back four that he knew he was going to play with, like the centre backs he knew he'd play with, because we had a set of centre backs for those games, and now we don't. Now we're kind of chopping and changing. If he gets in front of like the likes of, I mean, are we going to play Matip and Virgil van Dijk against Fulham and Crystal Palace?
Probably.
You know, if we do,
hopefully,
then I think he'll be fine. No, but you know what I mean. They're not great teams. So, do we try 𝐾𝐻 in those games?
No, I wouldn't.
He's not got a good record with 𝐾𝐻.
I've got something about 𝐾𝐻 in a minute.
Oh God, mate, I've got something about 𝐾𝐻, a stat that you will never believe.
Look, with Kelleher, I think if Kelleher knows he's going to play the next few games, so 2 weeks is what, 4 or 5 games in Premier League and European football. So he's got like 4 games. He might hang on.
Yeah.
So he's going to definitely go play Fulham and Palace, and then is it Man United after that? Let me know in the.
No, you won't play Man United, but he'll play the 2 Europa games.
Now, this is what I was going to ask. Kelleher has been known to get his injuries as a goalkeeper. Does Klopp risk playing him in the European games?
I don't think he can play Adrian, mate.
Adrian's not. He's not. But he can play 𝐼𝐢𝐿𝐽.
Maybe the second game, but not the first one.
That's what I was going to say. So we obviously got, if we beat, we're at home against Leicester tomorrow.
Yeah, if we win
that, we're talking about a massive change round for that game. But I think we'll do enough to win that game, and then we're qualified. I think we're qualified top of the table.
Yeah.
Then you can play 𝐼𝐢𝐿𝐽 in the last game, can't you?
Yeah.
And then just protect Kelleher a little bit, because just in case Ali doesn't make it back for the Man United game, you know, we've got he's a number 2 goalkeeper after Kelleher. It's dicey season, you know. It's not good.
Then we have Adrian then, and he has the game of his life against Man United.
Yeah,
probably will.
Can you add that? Look, that's the thing. Look, Adrian's not the worst keeper in the world, you know. And Nana, there's players like that around, you know what I mean?
He really isn't.
But
like, he isn't the worst keeper in the world.
The funny thing is, when Allison got injured last time, when he ruptured his Achilles, didn't Adrian come in for like 10 games and we won all games?
Yeah, because Kelleher fell off his bike.
Yeah, and broke his hand, didn't he? Or something like that. And Adrian played like 10 games, and I think we went undefeated in them 10 games, top of the Premier League and everything. And he saved the penalty in the Super Cup. And so the thing is, though, have you seen Adrian lately? Looks a little chubby around the belly. You know, he's definitely
goal. He's a good shot stopper, so he might block it with his belly.
Are you saying put the fat kid in goal? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Against last.
Oh dear. No, I got time for Adrian. He might not be the best goalkeeper in the world. I actually I like the bloke. I think he's a decent fella by all accounts, a great professional, and I've got time for him, man. I've got time for him. I really have. But yeah, I was just wondering about risking Kelleher. But look, this is Kelleher's time to prove himself. He's at home to Fulham, and I think we're away to Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
this is a great time for him to just show that, you know, I'm a good goalkeeper, and you know, when you need me, you know, when you need me, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to play well. Actually, he's got 3 games. So it's home to Fulham, away to Sheffield United in midweek, and then so our fixture list is mad. So we got Lask tomorrow, then on Sunday we got Fulham at 2:00. Then on midweek, we're away to Sheffield United 3 days later on the Wednesday at 7:30. And then the Premier League thought, you know what? Liverpool playing the European game, a 2:00 game on a Sunday, a 7:30 game on a Wednesday evening. Why don't we give them another 12:30 game away from Crystal Palace on the Saturday, on the 9th of December?
Joking? No.
Yeah, that's
Have
what
we been given another 12:30?
Yeah, away to Crystal Palace on the 9th of December.
Oh, I've got to watch Klopp's press conference.
It's madness.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're getting another 12:30. Why have we got the 2:00 on a Sunday? Why haven't we got the 4:30? We're playing on the Thursday night.
Yeah, I think the midweek games are Amazon. I think the midweek games are Amazon games, because Amazon games start to kick in now because we're in December. 8 games in a month, as Red for Life said. It's madness. It's just nuts to me.
I am lost for words on that. I don't really want to say it because I'll swear.
8 p.m. against Lask tomorrow night. Then the 2:00 game at home to Fulham. Then the 7:30 in the evening kickoff, which everyone's got, so that's not a problem. But after that, they gave us the 12:30 game again. That's our 5th. Is that our 5th 12:30 game this season?
Yeah, might be. It might be 6th.
That's just mad. That is just mad.
It's an agenda.
And then obviously, and then the Man United game.
By the way, we've got Turney for our next game. By the way, Premier League. I would let you know on that one.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So
we haven't got
4 games
kickoff, but we've got Turney.
So we've got 5 games: Lask, Fulham at home, Sheffield United away, Palace away, and then away to Union in the European last European group game. So that's 5 games. Kelleher's probably going to start all of them. Do you trust him for them 5 games? Because I do. I'm quite happy with him being in goal.
Yeah, I do. I'm fine with him. I'm fine with him doing those games.
Yeah, same.
To be fair, I'm surprised Sheffield United didn't try and sign him.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a goalkeeper that's got high ambitions, and a goalkeeper that could probably be a number 1 in the Premier League somewhere. He just needs to find where, you know. But look, I like Kelleher. I think he has to go next season, though, for the benefit of his career. I think Kelleher's got to look at it and go, right, I need to leave because I need to benefit my career, because I'm never going to play. I'm never going to be number 1 as long as Alisson Becker's here. You know, it's just, no matter how good I'm going to get, Alisson's just that goalkeeper. So
if Alisson was like 5 years older, then
I'd wait.
More games.
I'd wait. Yeah, exactly.
But he's not. Like he's in his prime. Like
Yeah,
goalkeepers are in their prime at like the age of 29, 30. Like he's right in his prime.
Yeah,
Think about Kelleher. Think about Kelleher as well as like he wants to be an international as well. He wants to. He's got to want to play games like because he can't be doing what Nat Phillips did for like 2 years, where he just sat around, just waiting for a chance, and he never got it. Like Kelleher needs to move on. You know.
Yeah,
We won't get the money we could have though. Like we could have got like maybe 20 million for him.
Yeah, I like the guy. He's a good keeper, good professional.
I wish him well when he, I wish him well for like the rest of the season, and if we do sell him, which we probably will, then I hope he stays in the Premier League because he deserves to. He's a good keeper.
Yeah, I think he's. I'm quite at ease with him being in goal for these few games because let's face it, we should be beating Fulham at home. They're not the Fulham of last season. We should be beating Fulham at home, even with Kelleher, anywhere like with me in goal. Away to Sheffield United, are arguably the worst team I've ever seen in the Premier League. So it's typical Liverpool means it'll get a draw, and then
they got battered by Bournemouth. Like
away to Crystal Palace at 12:30 is going to be a difficult.
That's
game.
A hard game.
That's going to be a difficult game.
The only positive
I'd rather play him in the daylight.
The only positive we've got on that is _𝐁𝐴 and 𝐿𝐴Z𝐵 are out for a while. And _𝐁𝐴 has been like really, really big for them this season.
Yeah, he's awesome. And there's 𝐿𝐴Z𝐵 and they're all
So they're both out. So they're out for a while.
A few beautiful players.
Yeah,
but if you want to play Palace away, play them in the daylight and not at night. That's what I say. Nighttime games at that pitch is it's very difficult. But yeah, we're all happy with Kelleher, guys. We ain't got any issue for the next 5 games. Fortunate thing, it's just a hamstring strain for Allison. He's going to be back for hopefully the Man United game. So with the fixtures we got coming up, to be fair, Allison probably picked the right time to pick up a little injury. There could have been worse times for him. If he got this injury after the United game when we got a busy time against big teams, then we would have been in a bit of a problem. So yeah, I'm just like it's happened now. I don't wish injury on people, but I'm just glad it happened now and not later in the season, sort of thing. Talking about injuries, Diogo Jota is going to be out till the new year, according to Jurgen. Obviously, they don't give dates or anything like that. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. It's just new year, which could be February, March, April. Who knows? Thiago was only 4 weeks away in April. So that's just, I said this to K-Mac before we went live in the back. We were talking about Jota as a footballer, is a fantastic footballer. There's no doubts about that. We're not doubting his football ability. But the injuries with Jota is starting to become a bit of an issue. K-Mac, speak on it, man.
Yeah, I mean, Jota the Slaughter, he's a really, really good player. Like, I really like Jota. I think he's great for the left-hand side. He fits Klopp's system. He's a really good presser. He scores a lot of goals. Doesn't take a huge amount of chances to score. It's like 1 in every 3. You're going to get a goal out of him every game. But he's been injured now for we've had him for 4 years. I think he's been injured for 1.5 years of them. Like it's a big amount of time. Like he's had like 3 months here, 6 months here, 3 months here. This is now going to be another 2 months. It's a shame. It's a shame. Look, we just talked about this. Internationals, like these guys are being just run to the ground. There's so many players that are injured. Like there are so many players racking up on that injury list for clubs right across the Premier League. And Jota's the next one. Like, we should be lucky that we didn't get too many other call-ups. Like, imagine if we had like Matip called up or Gomez called up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean,
yeah. Or Jones.
Jota just seems to get Jota just seems to get these niggling injuries a lot, don't he? And I love Jota as a footballer, man. But
it's not a hamstring, is it? It's a groin, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's just.
Does anyone
He's
know
done
in
his
the
groin
chat?
before as well.
I thought it was a groin, or it could be a hamstring. I'm not sure. I
I
know
can't
Allison's
remember.
is the same hamstring he had previous. Like he's
Yeah.
already had that hamstring injury before, like I think 2 years ago, Alisson. So he's just, strained the same one
Let me have
again,
a look.
because that will always be
Yeah.
weak once you do your hammy.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it
I
was.
mean, look
I
at
think it
Michael
was
Owen.
groin. Oh, it was
I'm
hamstring,
not
was it?
sure. It was his ham. Yeah, I'm just reading
Okay.
there. It was his hammy. It
Okay.
was his hammy.
He's done that before then.
He pulled it rather than Allison straining it. The reason Allison didn't pull it is because he don't run. He's a goalkeeper. That's
Yeah,
why,
but we
that's why it's
tried
very.
to get him to pull it though.
Yeah,
Kept on passing it to him.
We had no subs left, did we? So we couldn't take him off.
He had to
So
play.
yeah, so hamstring for Diogo as well. Now there's a lot of transfer nonsense going on right now. There's a lot of
see it
things
in the
going
chat.
on right now. I'm going to
See
talk
it
about
in
the
the chat.
Kylian Mbappe. I'm going to talk about the Mbappe thing at the moment because I actually think it's possible, right? And I'm going to give you my reasons why in a minute. But with Jota being injured, there's a lot of talk that Liverpool might be looking at another forward in the January window.
On the left.
Yeah,
well.
like Diaz needs minutes. He needs to get game time, which I think is why
The
he
Diaz
plays tomorrow.
rumours are not going away, mate. They are not going away.
Barcelona,
they're not going away. Those rumours.
Gakpo is versatile. He can play midfield, left wing, striker. He's our versatile. He's our versatile forward out of the bunch. Salah plays where Salah plays. Diaz plays on the left. Jota can play left and centre forward, and Darwin's mostly centre forward who can play left wing as well. We've got to be. I'm just wondering, Liverpool going to the into the transfer market in January actually pick up another forward. Because I'm just because I actually think Liverpool going to do a lot of transfer business between January and next summer. I think people are going to be a bit surprised what we do. I think this transfer committee have sorted themselves out. I was listening to Anfield Agenda earlier as well last night, and the Anfield Agenda, Craig and all that, he's got no time for FSG at all. But he was saying as well that it looks like there's something. And you and me spoke about this. It looks like the transfer committee have got themselves together again this season. They're looking forward. They're looking ahead for once. And I think there's more things piping up. I think Liverpool are looking for a centre back to replace someone you might not think to replace. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. I think they're looking at forward, and I think they're looking at a defensive-minded midfielder. I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool are busy this January, K-Mac. I think Liverpool might be busy. I think Liverpool might get a DM and a forward in this January. I really do. I think they go look at it and think, we're third in the Premier League. We've only lost one game in the Premier League this season. We've played everyone away from home who's tough so far. Everyone's got to come to Anfield. If we can get a certain couple of players into the squad, we can actually have a really excellent end to the season. What do you reckon, man?
I think it all depends on where we are in the league, because some of the rumours that I've heard and seen are we are looking at 2 Argentinian wonder kids.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And if we don't, if we're out of kind of the run-in, then we may get these 2, which cost about 40 million between both of them, and then we're set up for life, like for the next 5-10 years. One's 18 and one's 19.
Well, so Liverpool are looking to sign a 19-year-old DM in 𝐿𝐵𝐻𝐿 from Benfica. Now, Liverpool and Benfica have got a good working partnership where they bought Darwin Núñez. Benfica actually said Liverpool handled themselves really well they're pleased that transfer went smoothly and stuff like that. So there may be a possibility this happens. I don't know. I don't know much on him. I ain't going to pretend I'm an expert on the guy, but 19-year-old DM who plays for Benfica. And then you got, I believe it's a centre-back. Is it 𝐿𝐤𝐭𝐡 𝐃𝐢𝐤𝐡? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Is he the one,
from Nice?
Who plays in France, who used to play for
Yeah,
Barcelona?
for Nice. Yeah, he's 39 million. He's from Nice. He plays in France, yeah.
I think he'll go to Man United. Man United have been looking at him for over a year.
And apparently Liverpool are looking at Thuram again, which is an interesting
I'm just going to go off camera for a second, mate. I've just got to sort my dog out. 2 secs. Yeah,
no worries. So that's interesting. Now, let me talk about this Mbappe thing. Yeah, Revenite's got it there. Yeah, we're linked with quite a few young South American players and that geezer from Benfica as well. So I think there's something in the works. I really do. I think the transfer committee are looking at things. I think we're going to get players in no one expects. I think these players coming in. And I think if we're looking at them, they must be decent, in my opinion. But let's talk about Mbappe. Let's just get this done with, yeah? I actually think there is a way Liverpool do get Kylian Mbappe next year. I really do. He's not going to have a transfer fee. So it's just wages and signing on. Now, obviously, Kylian Mbappe is on €2 million a week at PSG right now. What everyone's got to remember is that he's never going to get these wages at any other football club. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know, he could leave for Real Madrid. Real Madrid are not going to pay him $2 million a week. It's just saying. So if Mbappe wants to leave and he wants to go somewhere else, he is not going to get the contract that he got at PSG. Also, you got to remember the contract he got at PSG was basically like they kidnapped him. You know, Mbappe was out the door. He left. He packed his bags. He kissed his mum goodbye. He wrote his dad a letter. He sent a postcard to his grandparents. You know, he said goodbye to his sister. The man was off. Yeah, the man was done. He was gone. And then PSG went, basically gave him the world and went, you want to be director of football? Yeah. Oh, okay. Do you want this amount of money a week? Well, I ain't going to say no to that. You still live in Paris. You're Parisian. Yeah, that's true. You know, so it's sort of like a false contract. It's not like a real life deal that Kylian Mbappe's got. You know, it's not a realistic contract, and Mbappe knows that. He's not a stupid man. You know, he knows the contract he's got right now at PSG. He's not the real. He knows he's not going to get that anywhere else. Yeah, he knows this. Now, I think you can get Mbappe for around 660 grand a week, in my opinion. I think you can get Mbappe for around 660 grand a week, which is like 35 million a year. I think Liverpool can do it. The only way I think they can do it is they'll have to get rid of one of their wingers in the summer. Now, I don't know how the fan base will take it if Mo leaves in the summer. Liverpool sell Mo in the summer. No, I'm not saying this is what I want to happen, by the way, guys. I'm just talking about what could happen. Liverpool sell Mo Salah in the summer, get a bit of a transfer fee for him, free up his 350 grand a week in wages. With the fee they get for him as well, can be the signing on fee for Mbappe. You then put that 350 grand a week you've got off Mo, and you put it on Mbappe's wages, plus the extra 350 that you could have paid him anyway, takes you around to that 650, 700 grand a week. And I think Mbappe signs. I really do. I think that's the only way Liverpool can do it. I do believe. So 𝐤𝐻𝐿, big up 𝐤𝐻𝐿. I'm trying to get him on the channel for an interview. I've DM'd him. He's got back to me before, so we're trying to get 𝐤𝐻𝐿 on the channel for an interview. And I'd love to put all this to him. I think there's a way Liverpool can do it. I do believe Liverpool behind the scenes are trying to work out how to do it because there's no transfer fee. Liverpool could speak to him on New Year's Day, guys. Liverpool could speak to Kylian Mbappe New Year's Day on the 1st of January. It'd be possible. I do think Liverpool are trying to work out a way to buy him. I just feel like the only way they can do it is they accept a bid from Salah from Saudi, take his 350 grand that Salah was on, give that to Mbappe, and then top it up with an extra 350 grand a week. So you're only actually then, if you really think about it, then Liverpool are only really using an extra 350 grand a week because they're taking the 350 grand a week Salah was on, giving that to him. So that was already been given to Mo anyway. So that don't really matter. And then you just top it up with the extra 350 grand that you gave Mo before. It can work, but I think you have to let Mo go for it to work. And I don't know if everyone's willing to accept letting Mo go to do that. For me, you keep Mo Salah. You look at maybe letting Jota go or a Diaz go. Use their wages, use their transfer fees, smash it all in one, and buy and give it to Mbappe. But I do think there is a way of Liverpool doing it, K-Mac. I really do.
So I've just been listening to you. Like I was just sorting out my dog. So okay. So if you let Mo go, yeah, that's 350 grand. Yeah. Thiago's leaving. That's 200 grand. And then you don't renew Matip's contract. That's 100 grand. There you go.
Yeah.
So it's literally just Mo because the other two will be leaving anyway.
That's what keep it level. So do you know what, guys?
Matip's going. Matip's going. And Thiago's going.
Forgot.
Matip's going and Thiago because Matip isn't signing a new contract. Like
in Liverpool, right? I'm going to say this right now. If Liverpool pull this off, I never want to hear another FSG out thing ever again. I just never want to hear it ever again. If Liverpool somehow pull this off and get Kylian Mbappe to Liverpool, right, the greatest player in the world at the moment, and have him playing with Mo, or like. If they pull this off, I don't want to hear anything. I literally don't. You know,
did anyone see the Newcastle game? Like, Mbappe was like a one-man machine. Like PSG are absolutely woeful. They have got some really poor players who just don't. They're just not bothered. They just don't work hard. But that guy works his ass off. Like, I'm not having anyone say that Mbappe doesn't put the effort in, because he does. Like, he really does work hard. You know, the guy might be a complete tube, but my God, he runs and he's a one man wrecking ball. He'd be incredible in the Premier League for us.
And this might sound daft, yeah. What I'm about to say might sound daft. Everyone, don't come at me straight away. I've always said this. I always think there's a difference between club football Mbappe and international Mbappe. I think international Mbappe is a better player. He shines brighter in the international stage. I personally think Kylian Mbappe is bored at PSG and fed up. He finds everything too easy. I think Kylian Mbappe needs that push in club football, and going to Liverpool and playing for Jurgen Klopp. Look, PSG might have more money in Liverpool, but they're nowhere near a bigger club than Liverpool Football Club. You know, playing for Liverpool Football Club in this red at Anfield every week, playing for Jurgen Klopp. I think it can happen. I literally think it can happen. You know, a Premier League challenge, you know what I mean? Come to the Premier. I think he's got to look at it and go, right, where can I go in Europe right now? As we said earlier, European football is not what it used to be, you know, at the moment. Where can I go? Bayern Munich? Yeah. Real Madrid don't want him. You got Bayern Munich there. You got Manchester City. You got Man United and Liverpool and Arsenal. I think they're the four big ones in England. Don't count Arsenal out in this, by the way. They're a club coming up. good coach in London.
Their owners spend as well.
They're in London as well. The London factor will be a big factor in all this as well. You look around, you think, where can he go? Yeah, I mean, that it's just. I mean, I'd go mad. Like Liverpool, if I found out Liverpool making a massive attempt to get Kylian Mbappe, plus we don't know what they could use Nike. They could pull Nike into this. You know, Nike are sponsoring Kylian in a way. You know, Liverpool got the Nike thing. They could just go, right, here you go. Or we pull him in on that. We help out on this.
We would literally have two of the biggest Nike stars like in the world, in LeBron James and Mbappe at the club. It would be just a PR masterstroke. Like, honestly, the shirt sales and the merchandise would pay for him. Seriously. Yeah. He's only 24. Like, this guy's been around. It feels like he's been around for about 10 years. Like, seriously. Yeah. Like, he was banging in Champions League goals when he was like 16. Honestly, like, he is incredible on the left.
I think we'd all love this guy. Do I think
Salah on the right, Mbappe on the left, Nunes in the middle? Oh my god,
that's mad. That's just mad. I'd love this guy. I think we all would, but no, I just don't.
Does anyone know his mum?
Yeah,
anyone got his mum on Twitter? Send her a message.
I think if Liverpool, put it this way, Liverpool is a huge football club, and one of the biggest or best players in the world is about to be a free transfer this summer. Liverpool Football Club should be in the negotiations to try and get the biggest free transfer in the history of world football. This is the biggest free transfer in the history of world football that's going to happen this summer. Liverpool Football Club, as big as they are, should, in my opinion, be looking to try and do whatever they can to get Kylian Mbappe at Liverpool Football Club, in my opinion. You know, most salaries on $1 million a week. He's on $1 million a week. He's on 350 basic at Liverpool. The rest is sponsorships and bonuses, but it comes up to $1 million a week. It can be done. I'm not saying it will be done. I'm just putting it out there for, you know. Yeah, you are right, Boom. But I think it's Mbappe is the player he will turn sideways for. You know,
that
talks about him all the time.
That 𝐿𝐲𝐻 TV comment is really good. Do you want to bring that up? That is really, really important. Spot on, mate. Spot on.
FSG can offer him ownership in the new NBA expansion in Vegas. They will not need to pay him a high salary. What, like, is it Miami done with Messi?
Yeah.
Didn't he get only like 40% owner of Apple or something like that now, or something mad like that?
He's got rights to own his own club, just like Beckham did off the US Football League.
Yeah,
you know what? There's not many clubs he can go to. Seriously, would
Man
City throw the hat in the ring?
Man City throw the hat in the ring for him. Man City get him with Haaland. You might as well just tie everything up and not even play next season. You know, it's pointless. You know, that'd be pointless. What, Alvarez, Mbappe, and Haaland? No, it's all right. No, I'm all right. And Doku on one wing, Mbappe on the left, and then Haaland up front. No, I'm all right. No, I might as well just forget playing. That's not right. I think the top 4 clubs in England: Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, maybe Barcelona, because they shouldn't be able to afford him, but for some reason they will be able to. And staying at PSG. I just don't know any, unless he goes to Saudi for ridiculous money. That is it.
He turned them down. He turned down Saudi already. The club accepted it. Remember, 150 million on it.
Yeah, and $1 million a week, or whatever it was.
He turned it down. Yeah, $1 million a week.
That's all it is, in my opinion.
Chelsea, maybe Chelsea. It's crazy.
I don't know if Chelsea, with the way they've spent in the last 12 months,
it would
financially do the Mbappe deal.
The thing about it as well is, like our owners have already bid a UK world record for 𝐿𝐴𝐳𝐭 for 105 million. That was a British record. Sorry, 111 million, wasn't it? We bid. Was 111 million, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so we've already bid 111 million for 𝐿𝐴𝐳𝐭, so that could have happened. So, what, 35 million a year for his wages? So that's like a 3-year contract. That's, just put that into perspective. That's like 90 million. So that's 100 million. So even if we got him for 2 years, that's 100 million. Like if we were going to spend 100 million on 𝐿𝐴𝐳𝐭, there's 100 million on Mbappe for 2 years. Just work it out like that. If you put it in perspective like that, then it doesn't sound as crazy because he is a free transfer. And his numbers are ridiculous. Like they're just ridiculous. Like he scored nearly as many as he's played.
It's gotta be this Mbappe transfer is gotta be the saga of the summer next year. It just is. It's gotta start in January because European teams can talk to him in January. It's gotta start from January. It's gotta be so exciting to see. I do think there's only limited clubs. Liverpool, Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal in the Premier League, Bayern Munich in Germany, staying at PSG, maybe Real Madrid, or going to Saudi. I think that is financially all where Mbappe's going to go, in my opinion.
No one else has got the money.
And also it's the glamour as well. Look, the Premier League's the best league in the world. Everyone knows this. He'd love, to prove his stuff at the Premier League.
Or Newcastle, by the way. Or Newcastle.
Newcastle. Do you know what? If Newcastle, I forgot about Newcastle. If Newcastle wanted to shake the world to its foundations, they could just go, what? We're going to pay him the wages he wants.
They were looking at Neymar.
And Mbappe would go. Why wouldn't he? Of course he'd go, in my opinion. 𝐿𝐴𝐳𝐭 and Mbappe up front. Scary. Yeah, it's exciting times, guys. It's definitely exciting times. Liverpool have been linked with centre-backs lately, 𝐾𝐲, and young centre-backs from South America especially. And I've been overthinking things in my brain, as I always do. And I'm thinking, right, we're looking at centre-backs. Because I've got a feeling that Matip at this... I don't understand why you'd let Matip go. I really don't understand it. You watch him playing, I'm like, why would you let that experience go, quality go? It makes no sense.
Him on a new contract.
I'll get Matip on a new contract. Virgil's probably going to sign a new deal, right? You got Quansah's coming through. He's got a bright future at Liverpool for me. Joe Gomez is on a massive contract anyway already. He's not going anywhere.
No.
That leaves one player. That leaves one player at the centre-back position. And it's one player I don't know if Klopp fully trusts yet, 𝐻𝐴. And that's 𝐾𝐻𝐿.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jurgen fully trusts him at this moment in time. And I'm not saying he's going to let 𝐾𝐻𝐿 go or anything like that, because I think Klopp thinks that 𝐾𝐻𝐿's got a bright future and a high ceiling. But there's something about 𝐾𝐻𝐿 this season that just don't smell right. There's something not quite... It's not something quite right there, because for me, Matip should not be anywhere near this 11 again. 𝐾𝐻𝐿 should have knocked this down now. For me, 𝐾𝐻𝐿 should have made that position his. In the last couple of years, 𝐾𝐻𝐿's had a massive opportunity to go, I am Virgil van Dijk's partner. Simple as that. I'm young, I'm quick, I'm athletic, I'm strong. I am Virgil's partner. I'm nailing this position down. But Matip's come from the dead. Matip's rose up like the Undertaker, yeah, and just gone, no, young man, that is still my position. And right now, it is his position. So it's interesting, isn't it? Because we are linked with these young defenders. Look, obviously Matip's got to go eventually, but
I I don't want Matip to, but I think Matip will go because this contract hasn't even been talked about. There's no negotiations. You know, his contract runs out middle of next year. Like, I think he'll move on. I think he'll probably go to Saudi. He'll probably get one last big contract. I don't think he'll want like a 1-year extension. I think he's looking for a couple of years. He's 33, isn't he?
Yeah, Matip, yeah.
He could probably do a couple more years. It'll be his last big contract. I'll tell you a stat about 𝐻𝐾, which I couldn't believe. He's never played over 1,800 minutes a season in any time in his career, which is basically 20 games. He's never played more than 20 games at any club per season. I mean, you can't rely on this guy. His body isn't going to give you a full season. It never has. It never will. It's still the same. Like, we thought when we got him, we could maybe look at those injuries and maybe work on them. And there was a way of us to maybe monitor them and to make him fitter and stronger and faster and more robust to be able to cope with the stresses and the strains which have kept him out at all the clubs he's been at, from PSG to Leipzig, obviously to us. And if you're going to pay £36 million for a centre back, you can't be paying £36 million for a centre back that's only going to play 20 games. You can't.
Yeah,
there's better players out there.
As I said, my worry with 𝐻𝐾 is that he hasn't nailed down that permanent centre back position with Virgil van Dijk. That's my. So I'm not having a go at 𝐻𝐾. I'm not saying I want him to go. I think 𝐻𝐾 does have a very bright future and can be an exceptional defender, right? I really do. My worry is, and everyone in the chat, I don't know if you guys have got the same worry, but do you feel like, everyone in the chat, let me know right now, do you feel like 𝐻𝐾 should have really nailed down that partnership now with Virgil van Dijk? You know, almost unmovable. You know, it should be Virgil and 𝐻𝐾. It shouldn't be anyone else. Matip has come back from the dead, has been exceptional this season. Looks like one of the best defenders in the league, but he never gets spoke about. And he just looks as young as ever, you know. I don't know what everyone in the chat thinks, but
I think 𝐻𝐾's 25 now, by the way. So he's not
he's
not young. Like, Gomez is only a year older than him.
Yeah, and
Gomez is more reliable now. Like he's fitter. Like, he's not, you know, touch wood, he's not getting any injuries anymore. Maybe his injuries are behind him, but like, Gomez had like 2 really, really bad injuries. One of them could have ended his career. And then he got another one on top of that just after he came back. 𝐻𝐾 should have nailed down that position because it was there for the taking, because Matip was always injured.
Yeah, that's what.
But he never did it.
Press Salah said here, Matip was a dead baller last year, and 𝐻𝐾 could hardly capitalise. This is what I'm saying, guys. I'm not saying 𝐻𝐾 should leave the football club or anything like that. That's not what I'm personally saying. I'm just worried that 𝐻𝐾's not nailed down this partnership yet with Virgil van Dijk. Virgil's number one. But everyone in the chat is even saying at the moment, Matip's the better defender. Matip should be playing with 𝐻𝐾, with Virgil. But we weren't saying this last season. No, Matip was dead last season. He's come back from nowhere, and 𝐻𝐾 still can't take his place. And I know 𝐻𝐾's young for a centre-back. He's 25. But look at some of the young centre-backs around Europe and in the Premier League right now. They're balling out. You know, do we have to start worrying just a little bit? That's all I'm asking, guys. That's all I'm asking. Like Colin, 𝐻𝐾 is yet to prove himself. So I'm not. It's just, we got to have these discussions. Look, guys, some topics I bring up, some people might not, but like, either interested in or agree with. But because I'm a Liverpool channel, guys, I don't do anything else. I'm just a Liverpool channel. I'm going to bring up things that are on my mind as Liverpool players, and this 𝐻𝐾 is one of them on my mind right now. And I don't know if Jurgen's got his full trust. And I do question why hasn't he been able to get rid of Matip out of this first 11 yet, and be his permanent partner. It's I've got to ask these. I'm just asking these questions as a content creator, as a Liverpool fan, guys. To you guys,
he's played. I think he's played less than 30 games as well for Liverpool, 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡, since we signed him. You really do have to ask the question, like, why is that? Like, we've had, and the thing is, we've had probably some of our worst ever seasons under Klopp with 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 at the back. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but we have. Like, two of the worst seasons under Klopp, 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 was playing for us. Okay, I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's a great player. And I think his injuries get in the way. I also think he makes stupid mistakes and he's not learned from them. So the bozo gene's still there. I think he's too rash. I think he can't play in that position when Trent's playing inverted. It just doesn't work. And I also think that, giving him that role where he is at the back when Trent is playing inverted, you're going to get more injuries. I think 𝐁𝐡's better right now. I think 𝐁𝐨 is better right now. 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 might come good, but if you've got PSG throwing 60 million at you, are you gonna look at doubling your money? That's a question to ask. And then that's making it sweet for Mbappe. You can have 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡, we'll take Mbappe. Thank you very much. I don't know, but he's played barely all season. And he still keeps on getting picked for France, by the way.
Yeah, because 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 is a good footballer. This is what I'm saying. So people might not be understanding what I'm trying to say. 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 is a very, very good footballer. There's no doubt about that. What I'm trying to say is he's not cemented his place in this Liverpool team yet. Joel Matip was dead last year. Everyone wanted Joel Matip gone. He's arguably been our best centre-back this season. And he's got a beautiful partnership with Virgil van Dijk. Matip, at 33 years of age, is better as our centre-back when Trent inverts than 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡, who's younger, stronger and quicker. That's an issue. I'm not saying...
That's intelligence, by the way.
Yeah,
That's a massive intelligence from Matip. Look, I can't talk highly enough about Matip. I think Matip is quite possibly in the top 5 Premier League defenders in the last 10 years for me. Seriously, this guy's phenomenal.
He's great.
He scores goals as well. He scored loads of goals. He scored nearly 20 goals for us. Honestly, this guy is absolutely sensational. And he was a free transfer from Schalke. What a player.
He's been a tremendous
absolute
player.
Monster. I mean, we got a really big chance as well in our game against Man City. We didn't have many chances against Man City, but we got one of our big chances because Matip ran 40 yards into their half.
By the way, have you seen on Liverpool? I was watching the Liverpool channel the other day, yeah, and Neil Mellor was analysing Matip's defending in that game. I didn't realise how well Matip did.
I said, didn't I? I said he's possibly man of the match for me.
Yeah. Did you see the block he made on that shot?
Yeah.
If he didn't block it, it was a tap in for 2 City players.
Yeah.
On the far post. Matip was he took the ball off Doku a few times in the box with ease. Got himself in beautiful positions. I was watching it and thinking, right, this is why I'm coming with this theory now. After watching it on the Liverpool channel, I was like, now I see why Klopp plays Matip with Virgil. He's got that intelligence and football IQ he doesn't rely on pace. Matip don't need pace. The same way Sami Hyypiä never needed pace. Although Matip is quite quick, over 5 yards.
Yeah.
Matip's quite quick. He don't really get flown by. He's an intelligent centre-back. Maybe Klopp's looking at him thinking, I've got no rush with 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡. Maybe Klopp's thinking, I've got absolutely no rush with 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐿. Virgil and Matip are my centre-backs. They're both in their 30s. They're both experienced. They've both got great IQs, great football intelligent, great defenders. That's my centre-back partnership right now. 𝐾onate's the future. He doesn't have to worry. Maybe Klopp's already spoken to Ibu about this. And like, look, eventually you're going to get your go. But right now, Matip and Virgil are just my centre-backs. But it's just interesting that we're in this
Jamie,
market for defenders.
Jamie, that Justin Ulysses just put a brilliant comment in there, by the way.
Where's that? Oh, this one. No, he's
100%. I could not disagree. I agree with that 100%. He would be amazing at West Ham.
Yeah, I think 𝐾onate's back to the wall defender. You probably want 𝐾onate's in your team. You know, if you're looking for a bullish, do anything sort of defender who can play in a low block and stuff like that, I think Ibu's your man. But when you play with this high line, see, I always thought a high line with the pace we play, 𝐾onate's would be perfect. But 𝐾onate's actually gets in trouble more than Matip does. Yeah, and Matip hasn't got his attributes, his athleticism, his pace, and his strength. Yeah, and his athleticism. He hasn't got that in his game, Matip. But for playing a high line and playing the way we do, Matip gets less exposed than 𝐾onate's does. So it's one to think on.
We had that conversation before about does Liverpool does a Liverpool team under Klopp need a player that is all about brawn and putting out fires and trying to win their duels and going up against the striker? And no, he doesn't, because we don't play like that. We never played like that. And if you look at the players that we've had, 𝐤𝐿𝐴𝐺 doesn't really do that. Lovren did that, and he lost a lot of battles, and that's why we ended up getting rid of Lovren in the end. Because when you commit yourself too much, there's no one at the back. Like, other teams might have a player at the back to cover. Man City have got like a Kyle Walker, who's probably one of the fastest players around in the last 10 years in the Premier League, who can just run back and sweep up. We don't have that player. So if you lose your battle, or you go up against a striker and he rolls you, or he wins the first header, that's a knock on to the next man. And you're on Alisson then. And we've had too many times where he has lost the ball or done something where it has been one-on-one with Ali. And loads of times Ali saved it. Like, I could look at the stats. We could all look at the stats and you could probably see that. Matip doesn't do that. He knows when to not go in for that challenge or not to battle like that. And he also works really well with the inverted. Like,
yeah,
that's just a fact.
He does it, right?
It's just a fact.
He does it, right? But this is my thing to everyone in the chat right now. Big up Captain Sal. I'm not slagging Ibu off. I've already said I love him as a centre-back. My thing here, and Captain Sal's right here, 𝐾onate's in the Champions League final was our man of the match. No doubt about that. But Captain Sal, what I'm trying to say is I'm a bit concerned that, like you said, man of the match in Champions League final, world-class moments here and there for Liverpool so far, yeah? But he's not cemented that position as his own. That's what I'm trying to say. He's not made that centre-back position with Virgil his own. Like, no one else should get a touch in. It's 𝐾onate's and Virgil. They're the centre-back partnerships. They're the ones that play Premier League. They're the ones that are going to play weekends. Matip's the one who's going to play Europa League. But, like, tomorrow, it'll probably be 𝐾onate's and, what's his name? 𝐁𝐿𝐴𝐺. And then on the Fulham game, it's going to be Virgil or Matip. It should be the other way round. It should be 𝐾onate's and Virgil being saved for the weekend. That's what I'm trying to say. I think you're right. 𝐾onate's had world-class moments. World-class moments. Man of the match in Champions League final, looking superb. But my worry is he's not cemented his place yet as that main centre-back partner for Virgil van Dijk. And we're into his third season. That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm not slagging the man off. I'm just getting your guys' opinion on things. But again, I'm not 𝐾onate's. I'm not slagging 𝐾onate's. Like, 𝐾onate's will prove you guys wrong. I'm sure he'll be happy about it when he plays good again. I'm not slagging him off. Like, are people listening to me?
Maybe they're talking about me.
I love 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡, and I need him to cement his position. For me, 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 should be Virgil's partner now. You know,
He should
that
be
should
by
be
now.
the centre back partnership. Matip should be playing Europa League. You know, 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 has all the ability in the world to be whatever he wants. He just does.
If Matip goes, then we'll find out. Then we will find out, because if Matip goes, then 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 should be the next player in. But if he's not, and it's 𝐁𝐨 or it's 𝐁𝐨𝐽 or we're in the market, then that's all you need to know.
So honestly, I've just praised 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 to the moon. I've just praised 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 to the moon. I've literally just said he's a quality defender. My concern is that he's not the main partner for Virgil right now. That's all I'm saying. I've literally just praised 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 to the moon.
Honestly, and I said he'd be amazing for West Ham.
I've just literally praised 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 to the moon. I've even said I don't want 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 to leave. I've even said maybe Klopp's thinking that at this moment in time, Matip and Virgil are just his more experienced defenders that he trusts at this moment, and 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 will get his moment. And when 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 gets his moment, Klopp will want him to show that he deserves to stay there. And it's what it's all about. Squad game's all about. You know, players come in and go, right, I'm going to make that position mine now. No matter how good that geezer is before me, he ain't going to be able to get past me no more. He's not going to take my position. You know, that's all.
I was joking, Revenate. I was joking. Come on. Call sarcasm.
You know, it's just about big everyone in chat. We're all allowed out, you know, debates and all. That's what football's about, guys. It's all about debate.
We all think 𝐿𝐼𝐭𝐡 should be the number one, but he's not. Okay, that was the question.
Yeah,
that was what we were talking about.
That's all I'm saying.
They get a touchy
question: are we giving 𝐼𝐭𝐡 the same treatment we did CJ when he was because look at CJ now? Yeah, Curtis Jones is doing well, but we like Curtis Jones. Do I think Curtis Jones cemented his midfield place? He has at the moment, because he went for a run of games proving it. You know, he went for a lot of games proving it. But then the same problem with Curtis Jones, 𝐼𝐼𝐿's got, and it's when they're in a bit of form and they're looking good, they get a random injury from absolutely nowhere, and that drops them down again. Remember, injuries are a concern to a manager as well. A manager will be looking at it and go, so Klopp might be looking at it like this, guys. Let me put it like this. Klopp might be looking at it and thinking, I love 𝐼𝐼𝐿. 𝐼𝐼𝐿 should be my centre-back partner with Virgil right now. But these injuries, man, I can't. I need a partner. Yeah. It's like Matip don't get as injured as people think. You know, he don't pick up the injuries as a lot of people think he does.
That's a myth. No, seriously, Jamie, that's a myth. People need to really look into that. It's a myth. It was one season. He got overplayed.
And Klopp's probably thinking, I can go with these two right now, and I trust these two, but I want 𝐿𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐿 in there. But then he gets an injury, and it's like maybe he's just thinking that he's got nothing to do with his ability. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's just an injury. I'm just asking the chat, guys. I'm not. I'm not slagging anyone off.
That Curtis Jones holds on to the ball too much. He does it on purpose because he's told to. Because we need to have possession of the ball. We can't keep on giving it back to the opposition. Jones is there. I do think
though, when you see Gravenberch play, I think there is going to be a time where
he's close.
Gravenberch takes that position.
He's close.
Gravenberch quality.
I agree, though. He is close. Him and Jones are like that now.
But yeah, that's all I'm saying, guys. Oh shit, my earrings just falling out. That's all I'm saying, guys. Earrings just falling out. That's all I'm saying about it, guys. So I'm not slagging 𝐿𝐼𝐿 off. I love the guy. I'm just saying, should he be? Are we concerned that he's not actually partnering Virgil right now? That's all I was trying to say on it.
And I just gave you some stats. That's all.
Yeah, go on.
I gave you some stats.
Gravenberch is quality. I keep saying it, Salah. pound for pound at the end of the season, we'll look at Gravenberch as our best centre back this season, our best midfielder. Sorry, this season. Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Can I just mention Gravenberch, by the way?
Yeah, go on quickly.
Okay, so Gravenberch is brand new. Okay, doesn't know the Klopp system. Didn't have a huge amount in pre-season, really. At the moment, Gravenberch is playing football on his own at Liverpool. Everything he does looks like he's playing in a game by himself. He's not incorporated into any system yet. He doesn't know how to work the system yet. The talent he's got is unbelievable. And when it clicks and he understands the patterns and he knows how to play with all the players, he is going to be frightening. He really is going to be frightening. But right now, I watch him and he's on his own. He's having his own match. He's playing by himself, but he's doing really well still. So he's going to be scary for us. What a signing he is.
Yeah, Josh, big up Josh. It's like Josh says here that he breezed past Rodri. He was the only midfielder for us against City that actually ran past Rodri in the game. No, with and without the ball. He was flying past him. I love Gravenberch. I think he's going to be a superb player for us. I think he's a better player than Szoboszlai, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. But you're not allowed to say that because Szoboszlai fanboys come at you.
Yeah, like me.
Trent Alexander-Arnold. I've got to say, I've got to talk about our boy Trent, Mr. World Class, the right back, as Gary Neville would like to say. I am getting sick and tired of the hate that Trent gets, and it's not just Liverpool. It's not Liverpool fans, obviously. It's the media. It's content creators. It's people making up bullshit stuff about Trent Alexander-Arnold. It does my head in. I've had enough of it. I have watched Reece James concede 8-12 goals in the last 3 games for Chelsea, right? Get sent off as captain when you're away to a tough game in Newcastle, yeah? And no one says anything. Then I watched the day before, I'm watching Trent Alexander-Arnold put in a very good display against Manchester City, get a clutch goal to get an equaliser, and all I'm hearing is negative. All I'm hearing from content creators and the media is, he got dribbled past 7 times. Did anyone watch the game? I need to know if anyone watched the game, because if dribbling past means that Doku goes down the wing, looks at Trent, and then goes sideways, if that's called dribbling past, then I need to change what football's about. He went past Trent 3 times. He actually dribbled past Trent officially, properly, what we would call dribble past someone, 3 times. 3 times. And then when he crossed the ball, it went nowhere. All I'm hearing about is this amazing Jeremy Doku display against Liverpool, because he ran with the ball and did a few lollipops and a few rainbow flicks and went past Trent about 2 or 3 times and then put in. But if you actually go and look at Doku's stats for an attacker, he had 0 goal involvements, 0 assists, and 0 goals. Created nothing in the game. He just ran and looked good. But all the praise has come out for him. Oh, he was amazing. He killed Trent. He killed Trent. He killed Trent. Then I watched the game back and I'm like, I don't think Trent played that badly defensively. Tricky wingers, I keep telling everyone this time and time again. Quick, tricky wingers, if their fullback is isolated, will go past their fullbacks occasionally. It happens to every fullback I've ever seen play football. But I didn't think Trent was that bad. I don't think Trent was that bad. I thought he actually had a good defensive performance. I thought he played really well in the mid when he was inverting. The first big test that he's ever had in this inverted role. I thought he played well. I thought he passed the ball well. I thought he was very dangerous with his passing. Every dangerous counter-attack Liverpool had came from a Trent Alexander-Arnold pass. Can I just say that right now? He had the most interceptions of anyone on the pitch against Manchester City. 1. He had more grand duels I think than all the midfielders, apart from Rodri apparently. And he got a clutch equaliser. But then all I hear is slagging off Trent from content creators and football people and content creators that just want agendas to get people to come in and watch their shows. Oh, I've got to have this agenda. I've got to go because everyone's going to come and watch me if I say this agenda. But then I watch Reece James conceding 4 goals against Man City, conceding 4 goals against Newcastle, always out of position. Go back to the opening day of the season for the Liverpool-Chelsea goal. No one goes and says, where was Reece James when he weren't following Diaz into the box? Never followed Diaz into the box. Wasn't even in the picture on the replay. And he's the right back. No one says anything. Got sent off as captain against Newcastle away from home. Never said anything. Nothing. But Trent, who had an excellent game against Man City, gets cooked apparently. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of all this bollocks. I'm sick and tired of content creators just talking agenda and banter. How about we talk some real football? How about we be adults and talk real football? I'm sick of banter in football communities now. I'm getting tired of it. Every football community, every content creator, they've got to try and do football banter. Football this, football. That's our real serious discussions. Yeah? Well, how about we do that? Or does it not fit agendas? It does my head in. Absolutely does my head in. Yeah, we've only lost once with this inverted system of Trent. Trent is world class. And people just don't like to see it, man. World class. And all he gets is criticised when Reece James, who everyone tells me is England's best right back, the best right back in the Premier League, one of the best right backs in the world, concedes goal after goal after goal after goal, gets injured all the time, can barely play, can barely do up his shoelaces without pulling the muscle in his back, and then gets sent off as captain. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about my right back. And that's all I got to say about it, K-Mac.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Talk about world class. That was world class. World class rant. Trent had a better game defensively than offensively, actually, in that game. In that game, and this is a stat that you will not believe, it's the only time in an entire game that Trent did not pass it to Salah once. Can you believe that? And it's the only game that we've ever had where Salah didn't have a shot on goal in the entire game. And that's because the system was made for Trent to create for Núñez. Everything's around Núñez now. Everything in the game that we do now is around Núñez. It's around getting Núñez into the box. It's around getting Núñez on the ball. It's not about Salah anymore. Salah's now doing it for him. I'll give you some stuff on Trent. Like, this guy is phenomenal. Okay, you ready for this one? Okay. Trent made his debut against Tottenham. Okay, that was his first Premier League start. Sorry, his debut came against Tottenham, while his first Premier League start was against Man United. Okay, so we played Trent, his first ever game, and we're talking about the top 6 here. Yeah, so he played against Tottenham for his first ever game for Liverpool. So he came on as a sub. Yeah, and his first actual start was against Man United. Okay, this is how big he is. There's been long trust in the number 66 to perform in big games. He obviously scored in the 1-1 draw against Man City at the Etihad. There's enough proof for that. We were a goal down and Trent scored the equaliser. That's 4 goals against the big 6 from Trent. He scored against Man City, Man United, Arsenal and Chelsea since he's been as a right back. He's also assisted in 15 goals across those games, which means that Trent's got 19 direct goal contributions in 55 league appearances against the big 6. This guy is there for the big boys. He
Big
is
time
there
player.
against the big guys, just like Salah. Him and Salah are so important to Liverpool. Like, and the games I'm talking about like when Trent was like 21, 22, 23. Trent's only 25 and just turned 25.
He won everything before he was 20.
Like I've got to give you some more here. Okay, so his record stands at 209 games played, 13 goals scored, and 55 assists in the top flight. 27.3% of his assists have been against the top 5 teams, and 30.8% of his goals have been against the top 5 teams. So Trent does it at the big stage. He scores the goals and he makes the assists against the best sides, not the shit ones, the best ones.
He's the one I want. In a big game. I want Trent on the pitch. I just want Trent on the pitch now.
I mean, I didn't even know these stats were as high as they were. Like it's
Trent's bad. He's
phenomenal.
Clutch. How many clutch right backs do you know? No, honestly, like in the chat, everyone in the chat right now, how many clutch right backs do you know? We, for some reason, only in this country do we put down a player of Trent's world-class ability because he can't do one certain thing as well as everyone wants him to. So we put down his ability. I'm telling you right now, Trent was Brazilian. He'd be Brazil's #1 right back. Without a shadow of that, you see how bad Brazil are anyway. But you're telling me like Brazil would not have Trent's quality in their team?
Might get in their team now.
It just I can only think of a couple of really clutch right backs, and maybe it's Trent and 𝐿𝐴, and Reece James does come clutch at moments as well. They're the 3 I can really think of, and every right back. And the problem is, this is right with football now, yeah. Fullbacks, everyone will go, but he's a right back, Jamie. He needs to defend. It depends how you're using your right back for your team. It depends how you're using your fullbacks for your team. Are they counted as defenders such? Now, if Trent was a right back, like Wan-Bissaka, never went past the halfway line, was just a defender's defender, then I would say if Trent couldn't do what Wan-Bissaka did as a defender, then you got the problems with Trent playing right back. Right? Then you've got issues because he can't do that. Right? Because that's what you want out of Wan-Bissaka. How many times have Man United fans complained about Wan-Bissaka? He can't do what Trent does, though, as a right back. And football's evolved. You know, football's evolved. We need more from Wan-Bissaka now in that right back position, but he can't get forward. Trent's defending, I've always said it's not the best in the world. It's not great or anything like that. And there's probably a lot of right backs that are better defenders. But how many right backs in Europe are going to do what Trent Alexander-Arnold does? That's the question we should be asking. Not about his defending all that. How many defenders in Europe, right backs in Europe, can do what Trent does? We don't ask him to defend. By the way, if you're getting your right back every single game isolated one-on-one with a fast winger, I don't care what right back you are defensively, you're going to continually having troubles. Of course you are. Trent's not a defensive-minded right back. He's an attacking-minded right back that's used to be an attacking-minded right back in an attacking-minded team. So it's just balmy to me, man. It's just balmy to me.
Look, he's played 288 games for Liverpool. Okay, he's 25. He's just turned 25. Like, to have that many games under your belt at such a young age is quite scary, to be fair. He's got 17 goals and 77 assists. 77 assists. Like, that is frightening. Like, and he's a right back. Like, you know, if you want to talk about just the Premier League, 209 games, 13 goals, 55 assists. Like, 5 of those goals out of the 13 are against the best teams. They're against the top 5. Like, he's a big time player. He produces it at the big games. Like this guy, he's not even in his prime. Like, are we even going to talk about that? He's not even in his prime. Like,
And
he's still got another year to go before he hits his prime, and he's
and
done all of that already.
And I don't think he defends as badly as people say he does.
He's not a bad defender.
It's just that it's the system around him that's the issue. We isolate Trent in that right-hand side a lot of the time. And now that he's playing inside, that he's basically playing in midfield, that's where Klopp wants him. Klopp sort of wants him playing in midfield. The reason Klopp's never going to play him in midfield is because if Trent starts in midfield and only stays in midfield, he's easier to pick up. But if Trent plays inverted, he ghosts into midfield and he's harder to pick up, like his goal against Man City. No one picked Trent up because he ghosted into that position because he's inverted from right back. If Trent was cemented in midfield, he'd be easier to pick up. That's why Klopp's going to play him inverted all the time. So he's playing two roles. Now, because of the way the system is, Trent is always going to get isolated, unfortunately. That is why whoever's the right midfielder is box to box. That's why 𝐒𝐻𝐭𝐡 gets through a lot of work, because it's not because of Trent. And everyone goes, oh, it's because Trent can't defend. It's because Trent's inverted. You can't leave it isolated. So you need box to box. It's always been the way in that system. I just don't think Trent will cost us goals. And I'm not saying he won't. He will cost us big moments at times and goals at times. But what he gives you going forward, if Liverpool are at their absolute best, they're at their absolute best because Trent Alexander-Arnold's on the pitch, in my opinion. The Liverpool want to go more defensive in a game and just play defensive-minded football, part of the bus football. You don't play Trent at right back because you don't play him at right back in that game because you're not playing him. You're playing defensive football, so you might as well play a more defensive-minded right back in that position. Liverpool play attacking-minded football. Got on the throat of, at their best, on the throat of the opposition. Counter press, pressing, forward-minded football. So you want to play Trent at right back. I just feel like he costs Liverpool games and goals sometimes, but I also think there's right backs like 𝐤𝐵 and stuff like that cost their team as well, but they never get brought up in conversations ever, like ever. And it's balmy to me, and it's just an agenda. I don't know why. I think it's because he's a Scouse lad, but it's obviously an agenda to Trent Alexander-Arnold that I will never understand.
It's clickbait, and he gets good media. Like he gets you the likes or the views or whatever. The thing about it as well is, since we switched inverted with Trent, we have only lost one game. Like it. Yeah. You know, maybe we haven't played as well, but we have only lost one game, and that game we lost was because of VAR. Like, let's just be honest about it. Like, we lost because of VAR. Like, that game should have been 2-2. Like, simple as that. Yeah. Or we probably would have won it if it'd been given, because then we'd have gone 1-up just before half time, and it'd been a different outcome of the game probably. But he's cost us goals. But he hasn't cost us games. He hasn't cost us games. He's cost us goals. And the goals that we've conceded, 2 of them this season because of him, we still equalised, or we still won the game. So he's not cost us.
If Trent weren't playing against Barcelona, well, you don't win that semi-final.
No. And look, you can talk about like the Champions League final where that one time he didn't pick up Vinicius, but
no one ever blames Robbo. Yeah, no. This is the mad thing in that game. This is what everyone goes to, the Champions League final. Trent basically had Vinicius in his pocket for most of the game. Yeah. Then there was that one moment, and I know what everyone's going to say, but that's the one moment we're all talking about. But no one ever talks about that Robbo let the pass come in the first place. You know, sometimes you've got to go to where the phase of play began, not where it ended.
And we were really pushing for a winner, though, in that game.
Where Robbo just let a pass come in, a shot come in, or whatever it was from Valverde that ended up at Vinicius' door. So, yeah, Trent was to blame, but you've also got to look at where it started, not always where it ended. You know, when Trent is defensively bad, and I've been on my show plenty of times and called Trent out for being defensively asleep, and he is defensively asleep, right? But what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of right backs in this country right now and across Europe that are just as bad, but don't get anywhere near the press that Trent Alexander-Arnold does. And if you want Trent to do what he does at his absolute best, then he has to play right back for Liverpool Football Club. It's as simple as that. You know, it's as simple as that. It's just
there's really not many players in my time that I'd even put on the same scale as what Trent does and what he's accomplished in the game already. You know, I can only probably think of one, and that's Gareth Bale. And it's a case of, do we turn Trent into Bale? Because he does everything like Bale. He just doesn't score as many goals, but that's because he's not in the positions to score the goals. So do we now start putting him in those positions?
Well,
he's as good as Bale.
I've always said that I think Trent's best position is right wing back.
Yeah.
You know, you play a back three and you play Trent right wing back, then you get the best out of Trent. That's in my opinion. It's just the way we play, guys. It's the way we play. And if we're going to play like this under Jurgen Klopp, then I'd want Trent Alexander-Arnold as right back, if that makes sense. You know, that's just the way I want it. I know what's going to happen, but I've always said I think we win more games with Trent at right back than we do with anyone else. I think we don't look, you know, you play a defensive-minded right back and you put Trent in midfield. That's what I wanted. So at the beginning of the season, I was looking at it and thinking, that's by a defensive-minded right back that will just defend, don't go past the halfway line like a Walker at Man City, just defends, doesn't go past the halfway line, and you put Trent in midfield. But the more I think about it lately, I think Trent playing right back and coming into midfield from that position works because no one picks him up. Because he doesn't get picked up in them positions, and he can do what he did against Man City. So my whole thing on it, Lo, is that I know Trent's flaws. Everyone in the chat today came at me. Everyone knows Trent's flaws, and we all agree on it. My thing on it is that they never look at someone like a Reece James and look at his flaws. Defensively, I don't think he's much better than Trent. He just gets away with it because it's not spoke about. I've seen him make massive mistakes at the back that never get spoken about.
I've no idea why.
And injuries. And I've always said this: injuries are down to the player, in my opinion.
What is captain material about that guy? He's not a leader. He's not a leader. Like, not at all. Like, I've never seen him do anything that's leadership on a pitch.
If Trent was that bad, there wouldn't be reports of Madrid interested in him. Exactly. You imagine
Madrid
Trent
have always been interested in him. Always.
It's just 𝐤𝐤𝐻 because he plays for Liverpool. Yeah, exactly. I think it is. I think if Reece James played for Liverpool, I think Reece James would be coming under more security. Like right now, more, you know, people will be looking at it more. Because I've said it for a while. Are Chelsea really a big team? Because no one seems to care that they're 10th in the league after spending all this money. No one seems to care. If Liverpool, Man United were 10th in the Premier League spending all that money, it'd be on the front and back pages of every newspaper every week. You know what I mean? Because the difference in this game. So maybe it is because of that. Maybe it is because of the fact Trent, you know, just plays for a huge, huge club. It's just mad. See, as I said, we all know Trent's flaws. Yeah, they're there to be seen. But the positives that Trent has, look, we'll play Fulham. I expect against Fulham, Trent might make a couple of defensive mistakes, but then he also at the same time might put two worldy assists in or worldy passes before the assist that break the opposition open. And then I'll sit there and go, right, I get it. I understand it. He lives on a knife's edge. Yes, he's going to give you that. at times. That's a bit worrying, but then he gives you that, and you just have to put up with it. That's the way I look at it. And I think if everyone else if everyone else did that against other players in Trent's position that are similar to Trent, I wouldn't have this issue, but they don't. They make out like Reece James never does a thing wrong. He's defensively solid. Can I just tell everyone right now, I think it's only once in the Jurgen Klopp era that Chelsea have finished above Liverpool in the Premier League. And guess who's played for most of the time at right back for Liverpool? It's just... And when...
Can I just say something on that as well?
A lot of Chelsea... Sorry. Yeah, a lot of Chelsea's goals also come down Chelsea's right-hand side, the same as Liverpool's. By the way, the goals they concede.
I think we also need to look at how Trent talks as well. Like his interviews now, like he is a midfielder. He sees himself as a midfielder.
Oh, he does,
in his mind, he is a midfielder now. He's doing everything that midfielders do. Like he's controlling the game. He's trying all the passes. He's trying to get more progressive. He's trying to get forward more. Like even the Man City game, like when Matip did that maraudering run, Trent was alongside him. Like he wasn't even thinking about defending. Like this is something we have to look at as well. And we are going to concede goals with this inverted because we just will. Because he is forward thinking now. He's not thinking about getting back as a right back. That's the last thing in his mind. Because he's been told to do that job. And I think next season he probably is going to move into midfield, mate. I can't see anything else happening. And you might be right about maybe 𝐤𝐵𝐺𝐲 does move over to Salah's position if Salah goes.
Well, Liverpool are looking. So there's rumours that Liverpool are looking at Frimpong.
Yeah,
who's an attacking-minded right back. He's an attacking-minded right back.
7 goals, 12 assists.
No, that's in the
German guy on the other side, mate, Grimaldi, is
they're fullback.
10 goals, 10 goals, 17 assists.
Their fullbacks are mad this season. There's no doubt about that. So Liverpool going to be looking at a kind of player. So if Liverpool want to continue playing the way they're playing right now with no real change, then a Frimpong makes sense. He's an attacking-minded fullback who can assist and score. Can come up clutch like Trent does. And then you can move Trent into midfield and there ain't much difference. You haven't got that. There's the same sort of uncertainty there with his defending, but at the same time, you see what they do going forward. It's the way we play. I do believe if Klopp wanted just 4 defensive-minded players at the back that just defended, Trent wouldn't be right back. But that's not the way he wants to play. He wants to play on the edge. He wants to play on the front. He wants to, Klopp thinks after all these years, obviously, Klopp believes Trent can defend enough for him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be playing. If he was that much of a problem at right back, an issue at right back, I don't think Trent plays. But Klopp obviously there's enough defensive quality about Trent. It's because of Trent's interceptions. Do you know what it is? It's because of Trent's excellent interceptions. You go and look at Trent's interception tally. I think it's the best in the Premier League for a right back. He's fantastic interceptions, and because he's very good at interceptions, that means he can get the ball moving quick forward, and that's what Jurgen wants. That's what Jurgen wants in his number.
But you also know why he's good at interceptions, because every team plays the ball down the right against us, because we've got an inverted right back, and that's where they think they can get at us. It's an interesting one. The Frimpong one, he's got a 35 million pound release clause in his contract. I mean, do we want to be getting Frimpong, Wirtz, and their manager next year? like how good has 𝐵 Alonso done? Like, he's been absolutely sensational.
Alonso has been amazing.
He has literally took to football to management like duck water. Real Madrid will come knocking for him in a year or two. I'm telling you.
Look, I think what's going to happen is Alonso's going to go. So what happens in the German league is Bayern Munich are the kings of German football. if any of their rivals are getting a little bit close to them, what they do, they nick their manager or their best player. That is what they do. So I expect Bayern Munich next summer will have Xabi Alonso as their manager, Frimpong as their right back, and maybe that is it Witz or whatever it is. Their attacking midfielder will play for Bayern Munich. It's what Bayern Munich do every year, and everyone keeps saying we should have player-owned, fan-owned clubs in this country like they do in Germany. No, we shouldn't. This is the reason Bayern Munich can do anything they want, because no one else is powerful enough to overtake them financially. You do not want fan ownership. Jesus Christ.
You also don't want country owned either. Look at Real Madrid. Real Madrid are owned by the country.
Spain,
their setup's mad as well. It's like two clubs control all of the TV rights and most of the money in their country. Same in Germany, by the way. Like, we don't want that. We don't want that.
No. DMs, guys. So, Liverpool been linked with DMs. I've always said, I think Klopp, since Klopp's press conference, I think Klopp's very happy with McAllister in the 6 because what he does going forward. That goal Trent scored came from McAllister's quick play, by the way, in that game. That's what Klopp wants. He doesn't want... Klopp said it himself. He sees football as evolving, so maybe we don't need that smash and mouth number 6. We need more of a footballing number 6, a more of an elegant number 6, a cultured number 6. I think that's what Klopp's looking for. You look at everyone we're linked with at the moment in that DM position. That's what they're like, cultured number 6s, like your Andres and stuff like that. They're cultured. They're not smash bang wallop number 6s that just kick you up the arse, kick you up the fanny, just clear the ball into row Z, or anything like that. They're cultured. They're players that can get the ball and get it moving and protect the ball and good at interceptions and stuff like that.
What you mean, like an Endo?
Yeah, that's what
came on and booted everyone in the air.
That's what Jurgen wants. So I think Jurgen will stick with Alexis McAllister until he finds that number 6 𝐾. That's what I reckon anyway.
I agree. We have been linked with Barcola and also Beraldo. Beraldo's a centre back who can also play DM, by the way, and Barcola is a left back who can play centre back and also DM, but he's being played as a DM, I think, in the Argentine. Is it the Argentine or Brazilian? I can't remember now. But he's been absolutely sensational. One's 19 and one's 20, I think. And they're the guys we're linked with. For me, that I personally think that if we're challenging and there's an opportunity to get Paulinho for 50 million, I think he might just do it. It makes sense.
He might. But I'm going to say this right now, right? I've heard a lot of people talk about Liverpool's midfield this season, yeah? A lot of rival fans, yeah? Especially Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans talking about Liverpool's midfield. Oh, it's easier to get Liverpool. Right. So Chelsea fans say it's very easy to get through Liverpool's midfield, yeah? It's a bit of a nerve, right? When they've got... Right, when are people going to speak about Enzo Fernandez? I'm just asking a question right now. When is anyone go like all I keep hearing is McAllister's a 6 and it don't work, and McAllister's a 6 and it don't work. Does Enzo Fernandez work? Simple question. Does Enzo Fernandez work at Chelsea? So he's their number 6. How many goals do Chelsea always concede? How easy are Chelsea to play through at times? And guess who their main 2 DMs are? Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. If they're both fit, they play a double pivot with both of them.
Is that crazy?
That's 200 odd million pounds. And Jurgen Klopp's probably looking at it and going, hang on. Everyone's slagging me off about this DM thing. But in reality, if you look at the stats, McAllister ain't actually been that bad. And apart from the Tottenham game, it's the only game we lost. We've played everyone away from home. Man City away from home. Newcastle away from home. Chelsea away from home. Brighton away from home. We've had hard away games where no one wants to go and not lost. We played Tottenham away from home and lost because of VAR, not because of Tottenham. Yeah, we all understand that. With Alexis McAllister in the 6, is it the worst thing in the world? You've got Enzo and 𝐻𝐨𝐽𝐡 there.
No, not the worst thing.
You know, you got Enzo Fernandez. It cost 100. Enzo Fernandez broke the British record. Then they went and broke it again with 𝐻𝐨𝐽𝐡. Over £200 million worth of DMs, and they get run through. They get run through like Gemma Jameson. It's mad. They absolutely, it's like
their best player in midfield is what's his name? The guy they tried to sell. What's his name? He was on loan at Palace. English.
Who's that?
Their best player in midfield.
Conor Gallagher, yeah.
Conor Gallagher's their best midfielder.
And they hate him. And they hate him.
They want to sell him.
You know why they hate Conor Gallagher? Because he's not cultured. Because he's Chelsea. You know, he's not European. He's not stylish. He's not sexy. He's not a good name. You know, that's why they hate him. They can't stand the fact that he has been their best midfielder this season amongst all the talent they have bought in the last 12 months. Conor Gallagher is standing up on his own at the moment as their best midfielder. Poch even sees it. Poch knows he's his best midfielder. That's why he plays him every week. They can't stand the fact that Conor Gallagher is their best midfielder when they've got Enzo and they've got 𝐻𝐨𝐽𝐡 there and all these players, and Conor Gallagher's the one who stands out. They can't stand it because he's an English boy. It's Chelsea, you know, through and through.
Lavia's out for the season, by the way. Thought I'd just tell you that. Lavia's out for the season.
Go. You know, and they just can't take it. And all I keep hearing from Chelsea fans all the time on Football Terrace, on any neutral football channel where they're debating the top 6 teams or anything like that. Oh, Liverpool's midfield. Yeah, Liverpool's midfield is hard. You know, it's easy to get through. And I sit there and go, hang on. How can Chelsea fans talk like this at the moment? How many goals have Chelsea conceded? You know,
look at that because it's a lot.
I don't think Enzo Fernandez is as good as everyone makes him out to be. I said this last year. at the World Cup. Alexis McAllister was the best midfielder for Argentina at that World Cup, and it's a fact. He was, yeah. And then Chelsea, people say, "No, Enzo was quality." Enzo had one good game where he scored that volley. Apart from that, he was shit. I don't think he's been great. I don't think he was that great for Benfica, as people rave on about. I don't think he's that great for Chelsea. I don't see this player that everyone else sees. I really don't. I don't see it. He'll have the occasional nice pass, you know, and a nice assist because he's got that cultured right foot and he's got ability. So he'll have it occasionally. But Conor Gallagher is outperforming him. Conor Gallagher is outperforming him. And they keep slagging us off because McAllister's in the 6.
I can see,
how are we in the top 4?
I can see Enzo going to PSG in a year's time, by the way.
Yeah.
I can see him making a move to PSG in a year's time, Enzo.
Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, DePaul was good, AT. You are right.
DePaul was brilliant.
He was good.
He's a really good player. He was good last night for Atletico as well. Like, he's a great player.
He's Rodrigo DePaul. He's good, Rodrigo DePaul. Here's another thing with McAllister, though, guys. I'm not saying McAllister's the perfect 6 or anything. I'm not saying that before anyone comes at me, yeah? But what I'm trying to say is Liverpool are somehow 3rd in the Premier League, had all these really tough away matches, only lost 1 game in England, so in the Premier League so far, with McAllister as our 6. When I look at all these teams that have spent lots of money on 6s and they've got this 6 and that 6, and they're all struggling. And Liverpool got a brand new midfield in one summer. Somehow it's 3rd in the Premier League, only 1 defeat, played all these hard away games, and they're still going for us. I don't get it. And here's the other thing with McAllister. Where does McAllister play if you don't play the 6? And the reason I say that, look at the way Liverpool play, guys. This is the thing we've got to do here. Look at the way Liverpool play. It's 4-3-3. Sometimes they might change it up a little bit on the pitch as a formation. But the basic formation is 4-3-3, yeah? Szoboszlai's box to box. McAllister can't do box to box. He hasn't got the athleticism and legs to do box to box. Curtis Jones is box to box. He's defending in our half. He's attacking in the other half. He gets to the wide areas. It's a lot of running up and down. That's not what McAllister does. McAllister's a cultured midfielder who likes to play in the opposition half. He likes to dictate the play, break from the halfway line into the opposition box, link passes with the attackers, link passes with the midfielders, play off each other, that sort of thing, yeah? He would have to be a box-to-box, getting up and down, protecting the fullback, getting forward when he can, like Szoboszlai is doing on the right-hand side, yeah? Is that really McAllister's game? Because I don't think it is.
No,
so,
that's never been his game.
If you're looking at the way 𝐤𝐭𝐡 Klopp's playing McAllister right now, in reality, unless we change the system and the formation and we play a double pivot, which where McAllister plays, isn't McAllister playing the only position he can right now?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Even if we did move him into the Jones role or the Szoboszlai role, that's not his strong point. So you're going to be still putting him in a position where he's having to do too much work, just like he does with the DM role, really. But at least with the DM role, he's progressive for our team, and we have other players that can take the ball from him and create and push the team further forward, which is fine. Like, Man City was the best game I've seen him play for us this season. I mean, if you're having your best game against Man City away, then you can only be doing better than you were before, which means that maybe you're getting the tactics more. Maybe you're understanding the play more. Maybe you're integrating better in the team more, so you're becoming more of a like Curtis Jones. You know the system inside out, and that can only be a positive. And if he does carry this on in the next couple of games into like next year, are we going to be having this conversation about whether we need a DM?
Well,
we? Like, if we're top of the league at Christmas, are we going to be having a conversation that we need a DM?
Klopp might feel football's evolved a little bit, and you need a certain different DM. Klopp's already spoken about this. He's looking at it like maybe we're evolving a little bit. Maybe we don't need that kind of DM like we used to now. I don't think if Klopp could, I do think he'll buy a DM that's a DM, that cultured DM. Like if he could buy him, I think he would, and McAllister would have to sit bench. I literally think, I look at it and I think, if you look at Gary McAllister, if you look at Alexis McAllister, yeah, in his career, at Brighton, double pivot. That's where he played, alongside 𝐏𝐨𝐲 in that double pivot. 𝐏𝐶EIHO was your DM, and then McAllister played off 𝐏𝐶EIHO in that double pivot. He played as the controller, the tempo guy, could move forward, knowing 𝐏𝐶EIHO was there, but he played in that central area, linking play, passed it out to the wide areas, controlling the play, controlling the tempo, playing in that double pivot. He was more the attacker one. 𝐏𝐶EIHO sat. If he's going to do that at Liverpool, I'd love Liverpool to get a proper DM in, that cultured DM that he want, like an Andre or something like that, and then play Andre and McAllister as a double pivot and Szoboszlai in front of them. And then you've got a Gravenberch also can play there and change it around. You've got a squad then.
Where does Trent play? Where does Trent play?
And then, then you can play.
Trent needs to be that double pivot.
And then if Trent comes into that double pivot, then you can release McAllister or get a bit further forward, and he can go alongside. And McAllister's still playing in that central area, where he can go out a little bit wider and cover the area there. But you don't want him running. You don't want McAllister running from our box to their box continuously, do you? No. Covering a fullback.
He's not
he hasn't got that in his game. And if we're playing 4-3-3, that's what you're going to have to ask McAllister to do. Look at Szoboszlai. Look at Szoboszlai up and down all game.
After 60 minutes, he looks like 𝐤𝐻 colour.
Yeah, exactly.
He goes bright red and he's blowing. Like the way he played against Man City was very, very measured. Like he had a look. As much as we say how bad a game Curtis Jones had, McAllister had a great game as the DM because Curtis Jones was next to him for 54 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, we
like,
sort of
that is a
played
fact.
we sort of played a 4-4-2 at times
Yeah,
against
that is
Man
a fact.
City,
Like,
where
he had a
Curtis
good
Jones
game
and
because
McAllister sat. Yeah,
Jones was with him.
yeah. There's sort of McAllister and Jones sometimes sat, didn't they?
Like if we're top of the league and the inverted, we still haven't lost games and we're still scoring goals and we're not conceding many, and and yeah, okay, the game might not be the type of game that Klopp used to play, where your left back and your right back are getting loads of assists, and it's not that type of football. Do we need to have the conversation about DM anymore? Because it's clearly not going to happen, and we're clearly doing well without it. And we bought 2 players. One got the number 8 shirt and one got the number 10 shirt. They're not the DM shirt numbers.
Well, McAllister was apparently promised the right-hand side. That's where he was going to play in the midfield 3 on the right-hand side. But then we bought 𝐤𝐵𝐵𝐺, who plays on the right-hand side for us. So I think Klopp had a thing in mind, because I don't think Klopp thought Fabinho was leaving.
No.
I think he thought he was going to play McAllister on one side, then Fabinho, and then maybe 𝐤𝐵𝐵𝐺, something like that. So McAllister on the left, 𝐤𝐵𝐵𝐺 on the right, and Fabinho as the anchor. Yeah, I think that's what he had in his mind. Fabinho left, and he looked at it and thought, I can get Curtis Jones is going to play on that. Curtis Jones naturally plays on that left of midfield. 𝐤𝐵𝐵𝐺 suited to that right side. McAllister can control the midfield area from that deeper position. And I think he went on something. And the more it's gone along this season so far, I think the way Klopp's looked at it, thought it's working out for him the way it's happening now. And I've always said the more these guys start to learn their roles in this team, the better it might get. I think that's what Jurgen's looking at. He's thinking the more McAllister learns his role, the more 𝐤𝐵𝐵𝐺 learns his role, the more Curtis Jones and the more Gravenberch and Elliott learn their roles in the way I want them to play, he probably sees it as a bright future there.
I agree.
So I don't mind. I really don't mind McAllister in the 6. I really don't. I know a lot of people hate it. I don't actually mind it. I really don't. I don't think we'd be any better off than we are now if we had a proper DM. I really don't. I think it'd be exactly the same. So I just read something a minute ago before we leave here that Billy Hogan is fronting the Mbappe transfer, apparently.
Whoa.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm going to fall off my chair because that's who fronted the 𝐾AIZEDO deal, and that was a done deal if 𝐾AIZEDO hadn't have already promised Chelsea that he'd go.
Yeah.
That's quite scary in a good way.
Yeah. So
because that means money is involved. Like, money is involved.
Yeah.
And if Billy Hogan's involved, Billy Hogan had the upper hand on Chelsea because Brighton accepted the money. Like, we won the bid. Like, there was a bidding war that we won.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah, apparently he's fronting that up, so we'll see how that goes. I'd rather see Macca. I'd rather see Macca a little further up the field as well, in that central. I'd like to see Macca in a double pivot. To be fair, Josh, that's where he plays.
Josh, I want Paulinia.
You look at the if you play, I tell you what, if Liverpool played Paulinia and McAllister as a double pivot with 𝐤𝐵𝐵𝐺 in front of him, because McAllister can do what he done for Brighton and done for Argentina, play off that DM, get a little bit further forward, play balls out wide, play balls to the strikers, give and goes, running that central area, pull him wide to defend when he needs to. But in a 4-3-3, McAllister will have to be box to box, and that's just not the sort of player he is. Nowhere near it.
If we get Mbappe, I will get a Mbappe on a shirt, and I've never had a name on my shirt, and I might even get a tattoo.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the only thing I think.
That is mental.
If Liverpool get
Can't
a
be
number
having
16, Liverpool go and get a defensive-minded midfielder in January. You play McAllister alongside him. Yeah, then you get the McAllister that we all wanted to see at Liverpool in the first place. But right now, I'm sort of happy when McAllister is till that right man comes in. Do you know what I mean? And then we play from there. So, guys, long one from me.
Does Mbappe's contract run out the end of is it July?
Clubs can talk to Mbappe in January the 1st. He can sign a pre-contract deal in January.
Mate, if that happens, Salah has to go then, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Do we have both?
I'd love to have both.
I'd love to have both as well. I'd love to have both.
Yeah,
but that would.
You watch Liverpool. You watch Liverpool. You watch Liverpool get both, and then FFP on our ass straight away. You know, when everyone's getting away with it, Liverpool will be caught. You watch that. You know, FFP will look at it and go, hang on a minute. How have you got Darwin Núñez, Mo Salah, and Mbappe as your front three? We need to investigate this. And we'd be like, hang on. Oh, man. Oh, it's just madness. It's just madness. But big up my owners. Guys, on that, much love to everyone coming in. I do appreciate it. It's been a long one tonight. I had a lot of talk about, a lot to get through. It's been a great chat. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow before the game. I might be back tomorrow morning. See how it goes. Doing the preview for the last game. So make sure you join me tomorrow, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget, you know where to go. 𝐿𝐴𝐺 channel. It's behind his head right there. Go and subscribe to his channel. Big up to everyone. Thank you very much for coming.
100. Please subscribe, guys. See you later.
There you go. Go and sub to him, man. See you later, guys. Enjoy your night. Bye-bye.